I want all of you to come with me to India on a hot, hot summer night of 1975. My family and I were sleeping on the terrace. The sound of heavy boots on our roof woke us up. The policemen, armed policemen, had climbed through neighbors' houses and surrounded us. They arrested my father, a journalist and a human rights activist. Next morning, we learned that the Prime Minister of India has declared a state of emergency, suspending elections, crushing press freedom. My father was given a choice: sign allegiance to emergency and walk free, or remain in prison. He chose prison. The Prime Minister was a woman. And that night, to me, it took a turn towards authoritarian rule. That paradox has always haunted me. Why do women either become authoritarian, much like men, or they get destroyed for leading differently? But here's the question. Is it about women? Is it? Or is it about the table they're forced to sit at? Does our democracy need more women at the table? Or a new table? Or maybe both? It took me decades and work across continents to understand what happened that night. And that night was first step towards standing here before you, challenging the power structures. My work took me to places where democracy was under attack. In Kashmir, in 2002, I stood as an election observer. I witnessed a bomb go off at a polling booth, killing people. But the lines didn't break. Women kept standing under military watch in very dangerous situation. Women show up to vote, but they're not elected to sit at the table. How many women do you think were elected that day? 2. Only 2 women were elected out of 87 seats. The same pattern repeated from Kashmir's ballot boxes to Sri Lanka's post-Civil War villages. I met women who had lost everything, but they were the first one to organize, rebuild, and demand social justice. From India to Sri Lanka to United States, one truth became clear to me. Women carry the weight of the broken democracy. But when it comes to the leadership, they're pushed to the end of the line in a never-ending wait for their turn. UN Women's 2025 data shows that only 16 out of 193 countries have women as their head of the government. That is less than 9%, when women are 50% of the world's population. Just think about it. less than 9% for a population that makes half of the world. When I look at the modern democracies, they were built on colonial blueprints. Consider US modern democracy. You know, the founding fathers wrote, all men are created equal. Yet, most of them owned slaves. Even after 249 years, United States have yet to elect a woman president. And in the United States too, women make 50% of the population. So modern democracies have updated their operating system, you know, like computer. They've updated their operating system to perform diversity, but practice exclusion. The table was never built to share power, and it continues to be so. After seeing this pattern and experiencing it over 3 decades, I feel that the trap for women is kind of twofold. Yes, a little bit of an overgeneralization, but it's twofold. If women conform to the old rules, they master the old rules, the system rewards conformity, but still paying them ruthless. Consider Prime Minister of India that I spoke about earlier, who suspended civil rights. And if women lead differently, with empathy, with collaboration, the system doesn't spare them either. New Zealand's Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, enjoyed 90% approval rating during COVID crisis. Yet, ultimately, she stepped down after relentless political pressure and personal assault. It isn't about women. It is about the system that is going to punish them no matter what they do and however they do it. Time to tell a different story. 2025 report by Russell Reynolds and Associates found that women are twice as likely as men to be described as too ambitious. And twice as likely described as not ambitious enough. No-win situation. It's not whether women are hardworking enough, whether they're ambitious enough, whether they're smart enough, or capable enough. It's how the system works. Women work tirelessly. They work tirelessly to climb what looks like a summit, only to find that it's a cliff edge. Imagine, ultimately, after so much work, so much struggle, you get to the table. You get a seat at the table. And you come excited. Hey, I have arrived. Yeah? What happens? The meal is already cooked. The agenda is already set. And they hand you salt and pepper and a wobbly chair. How much can you do with a salt and pepper while trying to balance on a chair that's designed to collapse? Hey, I have been there. I have sat on those chairs and hit the floor. For years I thought, maybe I can do more. Maybe I can do something different. Maybe I can fit in. Maybe I can learn. Isn't that what we are sold? continuously keep fixing yourself to fit in its seat, that is faulty. And here's the thing. The people who designed that furniture refused to admit that chair was broken before you even sat down. Raise your hand if you've seen or experienced this pattern at work, in politics, in community. We've all seen it. We all recognize it. It's everywhere. According to UN Women data of 2025, at the current pace of change, for gender equity to reach the highest position in the world would take 130 years. 130 years. I did not make it up. But imagine 130 years for women, parity to have the positions in the top position, to be in the top position as compared to men, or equity to men. We must stop adding wobbly chairs to a broken table. We must redesign tables that have place for everyone. And here's my blueprint for building new tables, whether you are changing a meaning or you are changing the whole world. See it, shift it, sustain it. Easy to remember, 3S. Number 1, see it. Expose the blueprint. Ask, who made this rule? When? For whom? Who benefits? Exposing the blueprint, recognizing the blueprint is the first act of change. And it can be done at every level, any level. 2, shift it. Challenge one rule. You can't take the whole system, although great if you want to, but pick one rule. Pick one rule. Propose a new rule that redistributes the power. And see how the voices from the margins come to the center, exactly where solutions emerge and magic happens. 3, sustain it. You can't do it alone. Find or form a coalition. Challenge the structure together. Support groups that are already redesigning the tables. Just be consistent. In my experience, women have always sustained democracies. When we support their leadership, we invest in the survival of democracy. And you know what? Democracy might look like an abstract concept. Like, what is this, democracy? But it determines, democracy determines whether we can make the decision about our own lives, whether doctors can practice without censorship, whether children can learn in this classroom without political or religious agenda, whether a paycheck truly covers the month. I feel that it's really a deep experience that I've had, that those who carry the heaviest burden at the lowest level of power are also closest to the solutions. And investing in those structures, systems that brings the table that is laid for everyone. My journey started in 1975 as a child and continues. You know why? Because women around the world refuse to give up on democracy. When they build systems, not only we get sturdier chairs, we get table for all of us. And time is now. Let's build it together. Thank you.